person here has experienced in one way or another Jewish teachings, whether it's in a Torah study class or in everyday life. Many of you may not believe me when I say this. You're probably thinking, she's utterly inaccurate. When would I have thought about the Torah or the Mishnah outside of a deliberate Jewish environment? However, what you don't see is that the elements of Jewish literacy have affected you so greatly that it seems as if it's normal everyday life. When you decided to give up your time to help your friend practice for their band performance, you were giving tzedakah. When you encouraged your friend about being nervous about their maths test, it bears a great similarity to that of you shall love your neighbor as yourself. Before I and my other speakers began, we were all shown a quote that stated, "He who does not increase his knowledge loses it." I believe that this is one of the pinnacle points of Jewish literature. To connect this idea to everyday life, imagine you quit school in year 9 and gain no other education. To find a career or start a business might seem nearly impossible. For humans to survive, experience, and master new principles, you have to be willing to embrace your own self-education. And much of that enlightenment comes from the morals of Jewish teachings, whether you seek it passively or actively. As we learn and absorb the morals within the literature, we grow and gain more impactful perspectives. To suddenly stop and restrict this growth would mean to forego or lose the morals entirely. Today I would like to disclose another quote with you, one that is very close to me. "Do not oppress a stranger, for you know the heart of a stranger, for once you were strangers in the land of Egypt." This quote talks about how every stranger is a friend you haven't met, how every stranger deserves the right to be treated with respect, understood, and be seen. I believe that to advance in this world is to put aside any preconceived notions you have of other people, and to instead give everyone the chance to show their personality and character. I'd like to tell you a story. When I was 7, I moved to Australia, and I started at a brand new school. I was fairly shy and didn't know anybody. In between classes on my first day, I was approached by a boy. I was very nervous and was reluctant to speak to him because of so. Whilst talking to me, he was very blunt and discourteous. From this interaction, I presumed that we would never become friends. However, if you were to fast forward to today, then that boy and I have been best friends for almost 10 years. Many of you may wonder how that a boy who I deemed rude and inconsiderate became one of my closest friends. Well, I suspect my quote explains it. The day we met was a rueful one, but one that was key to learn from. If I continued to judge this one boy based on a single encounter, then I would never get to know who he truly was, and ultimately never cultivate our great friendship. My quote also addresses how we were strangers in the land of Egypt. I believe this acknowledgement to our biblical province is crucial of today. What we need in today's society is to simply look back at our vital Jewish teachings and take note, because what we can learn from them seems to be crucial in making a difference in today's world. People are judged because of their looks, their height, their weight. An elementary quote like this tries to teach us that yes, we are diverse but equal, and should love and support one another unconditionally. Teachings like these could help better mitigate so many of the world's problems. These lessons are some that I've come to realize through my engagement with Jewish literature. I never would have believed that so much of what we can learn from Jewish teachings is applicable to everyday life, and the lessons that we learn can help us to decipher and overcome our modern-day struggles. Jewish literature affects us whether we've taken notice of it or not. It helps to shape and maintain who we are and uplifts the experiences that we've had. I believe that to increase our knowledge of Jewish literature and the morals it teaches us, we greater affect our lives and the lives of those around us. In this way, we never lose our knowledge. We only empower ourselves and preserve and dispense it. Thank you.